The rustle of the sawgrass, clinking of the broken glass, creating such a contrasting atmosphere. One would think differently in the body of these tiny creatures. In the world we live in, such a terrible, terrible reality. Only few come to the sad realization. Our world in the eyes of these tiny creatures isn't so sightly. The pureness of the air, the rustle of the ocean air, destroyed and gives such a dirty aroma, yet the culprit fails to care. A shallow, shallow breed, a mass killer. As these tiny creatures hop on the earth that was once so vital and pure, is nothing but a useless wasteland, a planet to be trashed and nothing more. The future is difficult to tell. Will the lives of these tiny creatures even be a carbon footprint in the future? Or is what has already been done just a long decline to life on planet Earth? Like an oblivious child, unknowingly taking in the poison left behind. By the denotation of the word, one would assume that the poem includes something to be damaged. By the connotation, one would acquire a heavy feeling. Own words, contrasting, differ strikingly. Culprit, a person who is responsible for a crime or other misdeed. Shallow, a shallow person is one that does not have any depth. They only see things at face value without concern with what lies beneath. Vital, full of energy, lively. Oblivious, not aware of or not concerned about what is happening around one. Stanza 11. The culprit, being human life, is described through the eyes of a rabbit in a way that shines negatively on this culprit. Stanza 13. This culprit is described as shallow, not having the proper depth to create a humble being. Other than attacking the root cause, this breed continues and is generally considered a mass killer due to the trashing of the planet. Stanza 14. The planet was once described as vital and pure. This can also describe the rabbit, who is one with the earth. Stanza 20. The rabbit is described as oblivious to the mess around, and the cluelessness will lead to a more negative outcome. Imagery. The rustle of the sawgrass, clinking of the broken glass, the pureness of the air, rustle of the ocean air, destroyed and gives such a dirty aroma. Simile. Like an oblivious child. Repetition. The pureness of the air, the rustle of the ocean air. Connotations. Shallow, oblivious. The poem depicts the polluted nature of the planet as it has changed to the eyes of an animal. In this poem, that animal is generally depicted through a rabbit. The sights and sounds are detailed to describe the environment of which the rabbit lives in, which was once pure, but now trashed by human life, as the clinking glass ruins the rabbit's hearing and takes away from the calming sights and sounds of which used to be. The poem shifts between omniscient and first-person subjective case. As we see, the poem starts out with omniscient, as the narrator is narrating. As the poem continues, you start to see different sides as you see through the rabbit's point of view, although it isn't completely first person. Tone. Contrasting. Creating a tone of which battles between the pureness of the planet versus the trash that is being introduced into the environment. Terrible. Sad. Destroyed. Dirty. Useless. Trashed. Poison. As we see with the title Destruction, it already sets you up with a heavy feeling. The tone definitely delivers the negativity the narrator and the rabbit are displaying as the once pure planet has been trashed by such shameless humans. Tone, negative. Mood, appalled, angry. Imagery, troubling versus pure. Jekyll and Hyde can be an example of that. As the impurity of the human race meets the purity of Mother Nature and sort of clashes in a sense. The poem depicts through the eyes of a rabbit the continuous trashing of the planet Earth. The narrator watches over the rabbit as the narrator realizes the disturbing reality that the rabbit fails to realize. Taking advantage of the absent-minded nature of the creature, as the breed and other breeds of animals connected with Earth unwillingly take in the poison and are killed off.